I'm Elsa, and I am a lefty crocheter. Today, I'm going to be working on a yarn cozy. This one is kind of, I've already started, as you can see. It's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a last minute decision of mine. But yesterday was kind of a miserable yarn day because I'm working with this this yarn that is very soft and smooth and slippery, and the skein was falling apart. So I had used it and it fell apart, and so then I caked it. Well, I was trying to find what project I was going to be using it for. I caked it, but I guess I caked it too loosely, and so then that was starting to really fall apart. So I was like, well, I'll cake it again, even though I've already started a project with it, and I knew I shouldn't do that, so I was caking it from the outside. It got really tangled. This is half of it. Well, maybe less than. And then I had to ball this up, and it took altogether way too long. But I'm trying to make a sweater out of this yarn. So I'm going to be using lots of skeins of this. So I'm trying to keep yesterday from happening again. So I've heard about yarn cozies. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make something that this cake of yarn can sit in, that will hold it still, that I can then plop into my bag, my project bag, and carry around with me, because this is supposed to be my portable project right now. But with the yarn in this condition, it's not very portable. So I'm trying to make it more portable. So that's what I'm working on today. I will show you as we continue through this vlog my other projects that I'm working on. And I think I'm also going to have to do a little bit of a room cleanup because my desk is a mess. But for right now, I'm working on this yarn cozy, and fingers crossed that this is going to go quickly. So here we go. All right, I have finished my yarn cozy. I added a little drawstring on the top so it'll cinch up tight. I didn't follow a pattern or anything. I just kind of made it up as I went, just did a base until I thought it was about the right size, and then I just started going up the sides. Let me adjust you 1 second so I can show you this a little. Okay, don't mind my mess. Like I said, I really need to clean up this space, but here is my yarn cozy. Let's move this out of the way, although I could use this, but so here it is. I made it this is about as big of a cake as I will ever be able to make, so I wanted it to be able to fit into here, so that's why it is the size that it is. And it's a little bit tight, but you know, once it's in there, he's not going to go anywhere. So I got that, and then I can do a nice little center pull, and it's going to keep it all in. And then as I use the cake and it gets smaller and smaller, then I can use the drawstring, cinch it on up, still do the center pull, and it's going to come out, but then the yarn's not going to go anywhere because I'm cinching it up. So I'm pretty pleased with it. It's nothing special, nothing super fancy, but it should do the job. I'm not sure if I want to make another one right now because, I mean, it didn't take very long, but I just have other projects that I would rather be spending my time on. So I might go out to the store and see if there's anything that I can find that I like the price of that I think will work better. But for now, this is good. I do know, because the sweater that I'm working with this yarn, I also have a gray yarn. It's this is the gauge swatch for it. So I'm using both of these yarns, so the gray should probably also be in a bag. I just don't know that I want to make another bag right now, but I don't know. We'll see. But so far, that's what I did this morning. So feeling good. Hi, it's tonight, and I finally have a little bit more time. So I figured I would show you guys what my current whips are. So first off, I do want to just say this yarn ball from earlier is great. The yarn that I do have in here, I am not currently working with, but I will be working with soon. But the yarn that's in here is being used for a sweater from this book. It is Reversible Crochet Sweaters by Anna Maria Babanica. And I'm working on the wavelength sweater. Sorry, there we go. So it's just like a zigzag crochet thing. And here is, you have to make two of these panels. It goes like this. Two of these panels, one for the front, one for the back, and then you're working on other stuff. But so I've started on the first panel, and that's here. And that is coming along very nicely. I'm really enjoying it. So I think I will enjoy it even more once I get my yarn encased so that it's not just rolling around and potentially getting tangled up and stuff. So that is whip number 1. I have yarn to start working on a blanket, but I'm trying to not work on that blanket until I finish up the cardigan. And then just some other little, like, I don't know, continuous whips. I got this book recently, the Ultimate Granny Square Crochet Collection. And so I've been going through and just like starting at the beginning, just working through these. I was for a little bit trying to do one a day, but that got overwhelming. So we've stalled out at number 6. But I will be working on that occasionally here and there. I'll show you the granny squares that I have. And I did just remember, I do have one other whip that I just started last night. Let me find it. And we're back. Here is the other major whip that I have. And this one is not crochet. This one is knit. And the yarn is similar to my sweater yarn. It's a very loose and it likes to get tangled up and catch on itself. So I had it in this yarn caddy, but because I started it before I got this yarn caddy, it's not coming through the loop on top. When I switch over to the next skein, I'll do that. But, and apparently we had some yarn barf too, so it's all tangled up. But this is going to be a scarf, and you can't see the pattern at all. I can barely see the pattern in real life, but it's got this like zigzaggy pattern. Let me see what it's called. It is the Laurel wrap from Pearl Soho. So, my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law were starting this project. They both got a wool blend to do with it, and they were casting it on and working through it and figuring out the pattern. And I was just like, I don't knit, like, I'm getting into knitting more now. But like, normally I'm not just like, oh, I really want to knit. But I was like, this is intriguing. I really want to knit this. So, I started working on that. I cast it on last night. And we're making fine progress. I'm almost done with the first pattern. It's like an 8-row repeat, I think. And so I'm almost done with the first 8 rows. And it seems like it's working. So there's that. Doing good there. So then those are my main whips, but then other things that I will be working on here and there. Sorry, I'm looking at my like books and stuff. I have this Pokemon Crochet Square book that I've been working through. I've been kind of frustrated with it because the crochet bits, they're great, they're fantastic, but a lot of the details are done by adding felt on, and I have 2 problems with that. First is it's really, really hard to cut the felt exactly right. Like, they have the templates, but like I would then have to trace over the templates, cut out that paper, and then put that on the felt, and then cut that out, and it's really hard to get them the exact right shape. And then the second problem is that they're recommending that I glue them on to the crochet square. And I really don't like that. Especially because I was going to be using this as either a blanket or a cardigan. But then the other part, so like the glue wouldn't stick on, like it wouldn't stay for heavy wear is what I'm worried about there. But then the other part, and you can kind of see on, let's see, this one right here, a lot of the stuff isn't built into the square. It's you make the square and then you sew the shape on top of the square, which is fine. But sometimes they go over the edges of the square, and that's just kind of inconvenient. At least for like using it for like practical things, like is what I had been intending. So I've kind of ground to a halt with this one, but occasionally I do pick it back up and work on a square or 2. And then I haven't done anything with this. I've just barely started looking at it. But some Pokemon amigurumi. And I enjoy making amigurumi, but I like have to be in a very specific mood, I guess. I made these like little, I guess that's the other thing. I made these little woodland creatures, and I really enjoyed that. But when they start to get bigger and bigger and bigger, I just don't like it. Like, I have no interest in using the plush yarn to make an amigurumi. It's just too big. I don't want to. So that's why I was saying I like to use the sport weight for my amigurumi. Make it look a little bit more like this. But then I was starting on the Wobbuffet here, and I'm using the sport weight, and it's going fine. But let me show you. It started it, and I'm just like, okay, so this is the back of his head. It's a weird thing. I didn't fully understand what was happening here, but this is just so big to me. Like, I realize it's not that big, but I don't know. The more I go into it, the more I'm just like, I am not interested in making this. It's too big. I want it to be smaller. So I'm going to be looking at, I don't know, possibly scaling it down. I'm not super jazzed at the math that's going to have to go into scaling it down, but I do really like this idea, and I am very excited about this book. I don't know. Apparently 6 and some inches, 6 inches, because that's how tall the Wobbuffet's supposed to be, is 6 inches. Apparently that's just too much for me. So, things that are cooking around in my brain. But yeah, that's what I'm currently working on right now. So yeah, I'm currently trying to decide what I should work on. And I think, although I really want to work on either the knitted scarf or, what is the other one? The sweater. I think that I should piece together this cardigan because I really want to get this guy done. I just really want to get it done. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I forgot to adjust the height from my time lapse, but I have finished weaving in the ends. And so we have the 2 front panels all done. There's just this one end that I didn't weave in on this one because it was so long. And I feel like I can use it for something. I don't know. So I left that attached. But let's see, how does this go? Oh, I guess like this. So these are the 2, let's see the bottom. There we go. These are the 2 front panels of the cardigan. They will go like this. They're not gonna hang over the shoulder quite that much because the back panel will come and I'll have more there. But I've got the 2 front panels done. And so now the next step is just taking the rest of these and putting together the back panel, and then figuring out how to attach it all together in a way that will fit, and then figuring out the sleeves, and then figuring out what kind of a border or anything, like, because we'll probably do some single crochets along the edges, and what color we want to do that in. But things are coming along really well, so I am very happy with where this is at. So I think we're going to pack this away, and for the rest of the night I am going to either work on my scarf or my sweater, but either way I don't plan to record it. So I hope that you all have a good day, a good night, a good whatever, and I will see you in the next one real soon.